Everybody knew who Puffy did. This the big question is this. Not one person didn't know that Puffy was Usher. Not one person didn't know what the saddest thing in the world is what they did to Justin Bieber. His friend, one of his partners, they got convicted for selling drugs for the company. Nothing never happened to him. And he got Obama to give him a pardon with no problem at all. I can go to Obama and say, hey, my childhood friend is in prison for life, let him go. It would never happen.
That's for sure. And that did happen with Puffy.
We would be happy. Yeah. 1,000%.
You think Obama had anything to do with any of these parties that he had?
Absolutely. T.D. Jakes is one of the biggest black preachers around that everybody loves. Everybody in prison, if they try to get the word of religion, they're not going to the chapel somewhere. They're turning to watch T.D. Jakes.
And another one.
Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast.
So remember a couple of videos ago, we covered the young lady, the woman Audria English, who was a go-go dancer at several of Diddy parties. I mean, she got so much evidence. I mean, from videos and pictures and being in magazines and all these things. Remember, one of the things that she talked about a lot of stuff that happened to Justin Bieber, all sorts of different celebrities she saw at these parties, including Nelly, and how he allegedly did. She didn't say it was alleged, but how he allegedly did stuff with P. Diddy, how children was involved. For those of you who like to say, well, I don't care what grown people did in the privacy when you're not understanding what's bigger than this. It's about why they're doing this stuff and how it ties to the industry and the messages that they push in the industry and how it gets back to our children. But for those of you who even overlook all of that and just want to know about the children that's involved and you're super passionate about that, well, this woman also confirmed this as well. Well, now we have Suge Knight himself. Hopefully a lot of you know who Suge Knight is. Former CEO, maybe the founder. I don't know if he was the founder, but I remember he was running Death Row and you know, he had, you know, Tupac and Snoop Dogg. He had all them boys from the West Coast. And it was a pretty big deal, right? Well, as a lot of you know, he's serving, I believe, a 28-year sentence for something that happened some years ago. Well, Suge Knight just recently went on to the Michael Franzese podcast. And yes, he interviewed from jail, which is a very popular thing that Suge Knight has been doing. He has a podcast from jail. But anyways, he went on to the Michael Franzese show and said a lot of stuff. Now, a lot of people, if I'm going to be devil's advocate, understand and already know that Suge Knight and P. Diddy did not get along. So a lot of people are going to say, well, he would say these things about P. Diddy. But I don't know, it was something different about this interview from the sense that it's not like he's just coming after him, right? It's not like he's just bashing P. Diddy. This man said a lot of things that it's not just P. Diddy that he implicated, because if it was just about going after P. Diddy, I think you would only say bad things about Diddy. This man was saying stuff about other people that was involved, including presidents. In our in a couple of videos ago, the go-go dancer or the ex-go-go dancer at Diddy parties, Audria English, said that there was some presidential candidates or some presidential people or people from a presidential status that she would not name that were indeed involved in you know, very suspect activities at Diddy parties. And even though on his show he put Donald Trump up there, I decided to be a little bit more equitable, as they like to say, and I put Obama up there as well, because we just don't know who she's talking about, right? We don't know who she's referring to. Well, Suge Knight has come out and confirmed that it wasn't Donald Trump, but Barack Obama.
You think Obama had anything to do with any of these parties that he had?
Absolutely.
Wow.
You got presidents, you got preachers. T.D. Jakes is one of the biggest black preachers around that everybody loves. Everybody in prison, if they try to get the word of religion, they're not going to the chapel somewhere. They're turning to watch T.D. Jakes. He had to resign from his whole community.
That's right.
You talking about the You talk about the top of the top.
Unbelievable.
Of the top.
Man, I mean, I got a lot of questions with this guy, but you answered the first one. How do you get away with something like this for all this time with all these people that are allegedly involved? I want to tell you this. I was in the same tier, the same cell that Epstein was on. And Suge, there's no way in hell that guy could have committed suicide on that tier. I was in there for 7 months. There's no way.
And coming from you, I know you didn't know the truth. And I personally didn't think he was going to commit suicide. But the thing is, he had from Oprah Winfrey to everybody on that island. Anybody with a weird fetish, and that's what underage kids, was on that island. And everybody knew it. So it's not like it's a situation where all of a sudden, maybe, there's been a talk. And you know as well as I know, like you being on the same tier as him, he probably was going to tell it all. He up himself,
No doubt. No doubt in my mind at all.
They made sure he didn't.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no way he could have done it. First of all, they're watching all the time. There's cameras, and just so happens that one particular time there's no cameras and no one monitoring that. I had eyes on me 24/7 when I was there.
Another thing I think is super important to talk about here is the part where Suge Knight is talking about how P. Diddy was an informant or has been an informant for years. Because a lot of people were suspecting, like, how has Diddy been able to get away with this for years? He's been accused of a lot of stuff, right? You had to do Keefy D. Been saying for like the past, 8 years, almost a decade, that Diddy paid him. He said, I'm a gang member. Diddy paid me or promised to pay me X amount of money to have me and my gang member affiliates to take out Tupac. And the only reason I'm speaking out was because Diddy did not keep up his end of the bargain and he did not pay me what he said he was going to pay me. Well, in this interview, Suge Knight is confirming that P. Diddy, the reason why he's gotten away with so much stuff over the years is because not only is he an informant, but the only reason he's being taken down now and all of this stuff is coming out now is not because they finally caught up to him. He said it's because what a lot of people have already suspected, P. Diddy got a little bit too carried away when it came to suing that liquor company. But look, before we go into the next clip, I actually listen, if you're new to the show, please know we're thirsty to grow and to drink some of this water. You can help me out by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. But don't worry, I'm going to give you a sec to do that. Help me out. All right, thank you.
My own question, how does it go on for so long? When we were on the street, we didn't get a day's rest. I mean, the government was all over us. The FBI is all over us. They got investigations on us. They got informants. They got surveillance equipment.
But he was Mike, not cutting you off, but he was an informant for years.
Was he really?
Yeah. That's why when people was like, oh, he's going to run, oh, he's not. It's the reason why these type of people get caught up. They always been telling them they're bigger than the law because they part of the law. And as you know, all these people get tired of their rats sooner or later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know that. You can't, it's one thing, when I first got to Sheridan, right?
Mm-hmm.
I come from the state where we don't fuck with the police, we don't talk to police, and they trying to talk to us, we cuss them out. So I get to Sheridan, and his black officer kept trying to speak to me. And I wouldn't speak to him. He said, man, why you don't never speak to me? I said, man, I don't know who you deal with over here. We don't have no conversation with the mother police, you the police. So one day he said, man, I just want to say words to you, one black man to another. All right. He said, this night, they want you and they continue to want you. He said, the FBI, the government is so advanced, they can have planes that you can't see, but can reach your license plate. They say most of the people you want to talk to, your guys, shit, probably wearing a wire. And I didn't say nothing then. I thought about it. And then as life went on, everything is cameras. Everything is conversation. For a guy, a part of a certain world, and you never go to jail, and you never go to prison, it's impossible.
In your opinion or knowledge, how long was he an informant?
I think probably since the 90s.
Wow.
We had a conversation before, and if look at the things he was able to do. You were able to do all these things, nothing happened. His friend, one of his partners, they got convicted for selling drugs for the company. Nothing never happened to him. And he got Obama to give him a pardon with no problem at all. I couldn't go to Obama and say, hey, my childhood friend is in prison for life, let him go. It would never happen.
That's for sure. And that did happen with Puffy.
We wouldn't be having. Yeah. One of the biggest mistakes he made was going against the liquor, the alcohol guys. And you know, bootlegging been around. That started with the Kennedys.
Right.
Kennedys became president because they started with bootlegging for his liquor. And they gave him an opportunity to get into that business. But he did a great job for them. A lot of people thought Ciroc didn't know what it was, and they thought it was nasty. And all of a sudden, he started promoting it and marketing it and became big. And he both had gave him $1,000. He never gave him nothing. After it came amazing big, at the same time, he wanted more of the pie. I'm not saying he didn't deserve more of the pie. I didn't say he didn't because I went in that meeting. What I did know, when they didn't give me what he wanted, he turned around and told him that he was going to sue him. He was going to tell him he played the black card. I'm going to say you guys are racist. I think once he told them that they was racist, they felt a certain kind of way, like saying, wait a minute, we was good to you, now you're going to call us racist. And you know as well as I know, one of the fastest ways to just destroy a brand is somebody a racist. Child molester or rapist, right? And so I'm quite sure they took it as he trying to destroy them. And the oldest saying in the world is that if you live in a glass house, don't start a rock fight.
Right.
So when he started a rock fight, that opened up the box for them to go look.
And the last thing I really want to show you all, because I thought this part was very sad, but I think hopefully justice will be served on behalf of him, was the part where Suge Knight talked about Justin Bieber, right? Suge Knight, sure, again, he's not good friends with P. Diddy, but he was very well in the industry. He know how a lot of these circles work. He know how a lot of these people move. He know how a lot of these people get down. So to hear him confirm not only that Justin Bieber is a victim, and it's not just speculation, but to go into the details of what exactly happened to Justin Bieber was sad, but also satisfying to hear, because hopefully the more people that speak out, the more justice that will be served on behalf of Justin Bieber.
Everybody knew what Puffy did. This the big question is this. It's not one person didn't know that Puffy was Usher. It's not one person didn't know what the saddest thing in the world is what they did to Justin Bieber.
What was that?
That's sad.
What'd they do to him? Because there's a lot of speculation out there, but nobody. I mean, I've heard things, but what did they really do to him?
They had sex with him
when he was a kid.
I hate to say that. I hate to say that because I really like Justin Bieber. I feel bad for Justin Bieber, and this wouldn't have happened if Justin Bieber came from a wealthy family. Justin Bieber pretty much came from a poor family, but the young man was so talented, and he could have been bigger than Michael Jackson. But the depression of the drugs and the stuff he allowed these grown men to do to this little boy is unhealthy and it's fucked up. No grown men supposed to be getting high and doing drugs and drinking with a kid.
Hey, Suge, you know, Justin Bieber has been getting this out in different ways. You know, you could see it in his music and just what he's been trying to say without saying it. So, I mean, I think everybody knows what you just stated to be true.
I mean, you had grown men would take Justin Bieber. A grown man take Justin Bieber when he was young to a vacation, a romantic vacation, showing pictures on the Instagram with no women, nobody else but a grown, successful man and this little kid. And if you and I was going on vacation together, and regardless if the wise mad or not. It's definitely not going to be in me and you. It's going to be mad because we're going to have some there. Or I'm not going to be sitting on a romantic island, just you and me.
Hell
You
no.
know what I mean?
Hell no.
I'd rather take the chance. I'd rather take the chance of my girl saying, hey, you know, you up there having parties and all. You right. She damn sure ain't going to say this. You and I on a romantic island. That's us.
Hell
So when
no.
they took Justin Bieber and that's them, not only is it a bad look, it's sad.
Yeah.
But the worst part about it is everybody said what was done to Usher and they done to Justin Bieber. And the thing with Usher spent the night and him and Puffy be in the same bed to do an album, and they never did one song they put out at that time. On top of that, when I met Usher, I came on one time, I'm speaking to the guy because he got good songs, just out of respect. Like young black man. This dude rolled his eyes at me. And so there was somebody came over and kept saying, Suge, you know, don't have one of your guys do nothing to him. He a good young man, but him and Puffy got a thing. He a thing. He said, he gave me a look like, you know. And I thought about it. The way he rolled his eyes at me, it wasn't like somebody homie rolled it. It was like I beat up somebody, man. Like I beat his, you know, he the bitch. Like somebody to roll their eyes, like you beat my boyfriend up. I ain't speaking to you.
Really?
It was one of those, right? Yeah, for sure. And the crazy thing about it is like Leslie, his mother, and everybody else said the same thing. Well, it was wrong, but if we go and get Puffy in trouble behind that, Usher wouldn't be Usher. He'd be known as the guy who got molested by Puffy, and they didn't want that. They wanted the money.
I met Usher back in, I think, 1999 or 2000. I did a concert up in San Francisco, and I had Usher and Casey and JoJo and a bunch of guys back then. And he was a nice kid at that time, man. He was respectful, and he did a great job. I guess this was before Puffy got a hold of him.
Listen, man, like I've said, I've tried to keep my word. I just want to, as best as I can, as much as I can, keep you all up to date with everything that's happening around this story. All the people, or that a lot of you all would probably consider credible, all the things that they're coming out and saying, the interviews that's being done, I'm just going to continue to bring it to you. Y'all, if y'all support this, if you like what I'm doing, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. My name's Demetrius. I go by Didi. That's all for this one. Until next time. Peace.
Oh yeah, Didi got a podcast.